Hello, everyone. I know there's been a lot of people that are struggling to make profits, struggling to learn how to trade, and wondering, will I ever get a grip on this trading business? Well, I'm going to talk to you about how to start swing trading in a simple five-step method. How to start swing trading in a five-step method. First thing you want to do is you want to identify the trend. You want to identify stocks that are trending. Now, of course, the the first chart that I'm looking at here is a chart of Nifty. This is a group of 50 of India's top companies, and it shows the movement all together. But I'm just keeping that there just to see the kind of trend, what is happening in the market. And we can see that overall it's been sideways. And note that I'm using a daily chart as well. And then I've got a whole list of stocks on the right side here. I'm going to go through each one of them and identify those that I feel are trending, and then I'll move them up to the top. Now, how do we know if it is trending or not? Well, I'm using a few things. First of all, using something called moving averages. These are 20-period moving averages, and I have a 60-period moving average and a 200-period moving average. Okay. And if you are wondering how to set up the moving averages, set up your moving averages, I have a video on this channel on how to do that. You can search for it and you'll get an idea of how to do that. I'm using the 20-period, 60-period moving average, and the 200-period moving average. So what am I looking for to show me that the stock is trending or not? Well, I'm looking for stocks where the price of the stock is generally higher than the 20-period moving average, and where the 20-period moving average is higher than the 60-period moving average, and where the 60-period moving average is higher than the 200-period moving average. These are the things that I'm looking for. Now, does it mean that wherever it's like that, will I get in? Well, not necessarily. Okay. But I'm also looking for an overall uptrend. You see that? In other words, look at the highs of each of these daily price charts. Look at that. The highs are higher, higher, and higher, and higher. Although periodically you'll have a downtrend like this. And the lows are also higher and higher lows. See that? Higher lows, higher lows. So overall, you have an upward trending stock. So this is one that I would keep in my watch list. Let's go to the next one. Next one is NTPC. Okay. Now I'm using the three moving averages, and it's been positive all this time. See the stock price above the 20 above the 60, and the 60 above the 200. But it looked like for a moment that the 20 was going to cross below the 60. So if it does, I will not enter, but it looks like it is staying above, and we have a nice green candle that's pushing it up, but I'm going to watch in the next few days to see what will happen there. So this seems like an upward trend. I want to make sure that the upward trend continues. Here is Ashok Leyland. Again, see, this is completely turned down. So I'm not going to use this. So I'm going to move this down to the bottom, much further down, maybe to the bottom of my watch list. There it is. Okay. All right. And let's see. I chose Federal Bank. I chose Federal Bank, that I was pretty sure that I want to keep an eye on that. So I'll move Federal Bank to the top. NTPC. All right. That also was another possibility that I'm going to watch carefully. All right. Indian hotels. Let's see what happens with Indian hotels. Look at this. All right. Now, generally, the stock price is above the 20, 20 above the 60, and the 60 above the 200. I'll keep this on my watch list, except that the stock price has been pushed down here. So I want to watch carefully to see what happened. You see, the all-time high was just broken, but it's the all-time high becomes a big resistance. Okay. All right. Next one is Coal India. Coal India. All right, let's see what's happening here also. Again, here also, let me remove these extra lines to avoid confusion. All right, look at this. So the stock price above the 20 above the 60, and the 60 above the 200. I will leave that in there, and I'll put it up on the top. All right. Okay, this one, Indian hotels. My internet is a bit slow. All right, that also is looking fairly good, although the all-time high is just so close. NHPC is another one that I'm looking at. Let's see what NHPC looks like. All right, this one also, look at this. Stock price above the 20 above the 60, and the 60 above the 200. All right, so I'll move that up to the top also. RVNL. All right, this one is a bit interesting. See what's happening? It was always sideways for some time. It's been sideways for some time, but now the stock price is above the 20 above the 60, and the 60 above the 200. I'll watch it very carefully because I don't know what's going to happen here. Okay. In other words, if it's going to get pushed down, this may be a problem. And also, it's too close to the all-time high. Next one, IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank, also the same pattern is there, although this is kind of being pushed down a little bit. Okay, but then you have the 20 above the 60, 60 above the 200, and look at the overall trend. Okay, that looks fairly decent. Tata Consumer, by the way, sometimes you may need to go through many of these things to really find something worthwhile. All right, Tata Communication, fairly good, but I'm not so sure what's going to happen. Overall, it's been on a downtrend, and let's see if it is moving up. I'll move this up, and we can watch it carefully. All right. Now, what did we say about IndusInd? Are we going to hold on to IndusInd Bank? Yeah, that's also looking good. All right. PNB, Punjab National Bank. All right. All right. Where are my other? Yeah. Okay. So this one also is moving in that right direction, and we can keep an eye on that. Okay. And then Canara Bank. Let's see what's happening with Canara Bank. Let me remove the extra lines. Get rid of those. We don't need those anymore. Okay, look at Canara Bank. No, I won't be using this right now. Maybe later on. BPCL. No, I'll move that to the bottom. Okay, Gale India. See that? The 200 is on the top, totally the reverse. So it's definitely on a downtrend. I'm not using that right now, but I'll keep it on my watch list to keep an eye on. This one also, see that? The 200 is on the top, where we want the 200 on the bottom instead. NIACL. All right, look at that. The 20 is on the bottom. We want the 20 on the top. And look at that, 200 is up there as well. So that's also the reverse of what we're really looking for. SAIL. All right, Steel Authority of India. All right, the 20 is on the bottom. We don't want to do that either. Okay, Indian Oil Corporation. I'm giving you an idea of how I analyze that and how I move these things around. IOC, let's move it down. Look at that, 200 is way up on top. I don't want that. REC Limited. Yeah, that's also negative. I'll push that down. And then Exide Industries. That also, look at that. The 20 is below the 60. We don't want that. All right. And what is this? Let's take a look at this. Last one, Tata Steel. 200 is up on top. We want it on the bottom. Okay. So out of all these right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. That we found to be interesting. So we found to be on an uptrend. So our number one, find the trending stocks. Okay. We found about 9 or 10 that are trending. Next, we want to identify the levels of support and resistance, okay? We want to identify the levels of support and resistance. Look right here. This all-time high itself is a resistance. I'm just pushing that up right now because I want to go here, draw a horizontal line here. Why am I doing that? Because if you notice, 1, 2, 3 times or several times, okay, this area. I remember, it's not just that one price, that particular area, okay? So that price was rejected right there and got pushed back down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one more line over here, okay, right there. All right, and I'm going to call this SR for support resistance. And down here on the bottom also, I'm calling it SR. By the way, I made these earlier, and you can do that as well after you make a line. All right, then you click on this the settings, and you can select text you want to put there, the color you want, the type of line, and then you go here and press Save Drawing Template As, and you can give it the name. Okay, so what's going to happen here is that this may swing up and down between these two levels. All right, so this is how you draw the support and resistance. Okay, that's number 2, right? Support and resistance. All right, let's look at the next one. NTPC. All right, where do we find support and resistance? Well, here is a point of resistance right there, and it was pushed down, and I'm going to call it SR. And then on the bottom, I will put that line right there. It was the price would not go any lower than that. So basically what would happen is it would swing up and down. See, this is also another area of resistance. So I'm going to draw that there just so that we know that this resistance level is up there. Okay, so we're aware of that. Okay, that's NTPC. I drew the support and resistance lines. Coal India, all right. The support and resistance lines have already been drawn here. Look at that. Let me move that up a little bit further. All right, there it is. So basically what's going to happen is, what could happen is the price would move up and down right here. Okay, Indian hotels, same thing. Okay, look at that. There's a swing right here. So I'm going to move this all-time high a little further up, and I'm going to draw support and resistance line over here. See that? Yeah. And I'm going to rename that to SR, rename this to SR. I'm only doing this with about, several of these. See, it's going up and down, up and down. All right, NHPC. Let's see what's happening. I've already drawn that. Look at this. Yeah, see, looks like it's going up and down right here. I'm going to move the all-time high a little further up, and so that it's more accurate, and it's just bouncing up and down right here. Okay, all right, I did about a few of these. So let me go back to Federal Bank and let's review our points. Number 1, we want to identify the trend. We did that. Number 2, we want to identify support and resistance and draw the lines. You see that? We did that. Now we're looking for a breakout entry. A breakout entry. What does this mean? That means, see, that these two SR lines, the one on the top is the resistance, one on the bottom is the support, okay? And it's possible that this stock price could swing up and down, up and down, up and down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this on my watch list every day, keep an eye on it, and I will wait for this price to break out of this resistance. Okay, I'll wait for the price to break out of that resistance. That's what I'm looking for. Look at NTPC, same thing there. See, this is the swing, high and low, swing up and down, up and down. So I'm going to wait until this resistance is broken before I enter into a trade right there. Next, Coal India. Excuse me. Yeah, Coal India. Look at that, up and down swing like this right there. See that? Okay, and it might even be a bigger swing. Let's see if this acts as a support, okay? But what am I looking for? I want to see this breaking out of this resistance level before I enter. That's when I want to enter, okay? All right, Indian hotels, same thing. Look at this. So I'm looking for this to come back up and break through this level. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of what to do next. So number 1, we identified the trend. Number two, we drew the support resistance. Number three, we look for a breakout entry. In other words, we're looking for this stock price to break out of this resistance. Okay. All right. Then what am I going to do? When it breaks out of this resistance, I'm going to enter. All right. With a few trades. How many? Well, I'm going to enter with probably about 20 to 30% of the total amount that I'm going to put in. Okay, like for example, if you're going to put in 1,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees into this, okay, 20 or 30% might be 200 or 300 rupees. Or if you're going to put in, let's say you want to put in 10,000 rupees into this, 20 or 30 might be 2,000 or 3,000 rupees. Okay, so you do, yeah, and I would put that in and enter there. And then I'd wait 1 or 2 more days to make sure that the price is continuing to move up. Then I'll enter with another 10 or 20% until I reach the amount that I want to ultimately trade with this particular stock. Then what about my stop loss? Well, the bottom, you remember the up and down swing? The bottom of that swing, that's going to be my stop loss. This lower part is going to be my stop loss, okay? So I would press here and I would press this and I would make that my stop loss. There it is, see? And that's what I would continue doing there. And then with each one, I would do the same thing. With each one, I would wait until I break out of this resistance level, and then I would make this bottom one my stop loss. See, there it is. Okay, that's what I will do. Okay, let's review again. Number one, identify the trend. Number two, identify support resistance. Number three, look for a breakout entry. Here it is, the breakout entry. But don't invest everything right there. All right, decide how much you're going to trade for this stock and put in about 20 to 30% only. And then if it continues to move up in the right direction, put in another 20 to 30%. If it continue to move up, put in another 20, 30%. But remember, as soon as you buy, set your stop loss at the next swing low. Okay, set your stop loss at the next swing low. All right, so number one, identify trend. Number two, identify support resistance lines. Draw the support resistance lines. Number three, look for a breakout entry. Number four, set your stop loss. And then number five, you want to exit. Okay, now how do you determine when to get out and take a profit? Now, some of it, that's up to you. Some people might say, well, I want to get about 5% or 10%. That might be one way to do it. Another way to do it is this. If I'm breaking out from here, okay, what I would do is look at where the all-time high level is, 140, 160. What I would do is I would put that as my target right there, okay, to sell out of that one. Like something I did today, it was an ITC trade. Okay, I just preset that as my target, and it sold off at that point. Here also, NTPC. If I enter here at the breakout, okay, from this resistance, then I would look to get out right here at the next resistance, 176.35. Okay, so I would look to exit right there. Now, if I exit there, how much money would I make? Well, let's take a look, okay? And if we enter here and go all the way up here, we're looking at about 4% profit right there. Sometimes you may get up there within a few days' time, which is pretty good, okay? That's how you look for your exit, okay? One way to look for the exit is to find the next level of resistance and then target that resistance, okay? All right, like, let's see, this other examples would be here. Let's see Vindas Bank. Yeah, this is another level that I'd drawn earlier. Of course, there's no support and resistance line here. I would draw that right there. Support and resistance. And I would draw the next one down here. See that? Support resistance. Okay, you can tell that this area, this range has been respected numerous times. It would not go down, but at one point this was the resistance. Look at that. See, this was, it's like the ceiling of and the floor of your house when you're downstairs, the ceiling is resistance. You go up the stairs and get up to the top, that same ceiling becomes your support. Okay. And here also, I would keep watching this until this breaks out. Once it breaks out of this resistance, I will enter with about 20 or 30% of the capital that I intend to put into IndusInd Bank. Okay. All right. And then my exit, I would look for that exit right here, which was a point of resistance. And I would put that as my exit plan. And then, of course, my stop loss would be down here. Here it is. See, my stop loss would be right down here because that is the next swing low. Okay, that's where my stop loss would be. That is once after this is broken out, then this would become my stop loss. Okay, I hope this is helpful to you. 5 steps in learning to swing trade. 5 steps. Identify the trend, draw support and resistance. Okay, look for breakout entry, and then set your stop loss. And then number 5, plan your exit. Another way some people do with the exit is that they want to see in case the stock continues to go up. You know, you might think, well, if I exit here at this level, what if the stock continues to go up? Maybe I might, lose out on that. But what you do is, another way to do it is you can use what is called a trailing stop loss. So you put your stop loss maybe like about 2% below this, okay? Set it at 2%, and then every day reset that for 2%. And of course, somewhere along the way, you get stopped out, okay? Here are the 5 simple steps. I hope it benefits you. Let me know in the comments if you have questions, and share this video with others if you find it to be helpful. Thank you, and have a great day.